Hey guys, so have you ever wondered why white objects reflect light? It might be a weird question. All the teachers and scientists have, all the teachers have taught us saying that white objects reflect light. That's why they use white roofs, so that they don't want too much heat coming into the house. But that's all they taught us. They didn't say why it happens. Then, why do black objects absorb light? Seems funny, rather than funny, weird. Okay, so let me tell you why. So this has got to do with oscillating frequencies and oscillating energy. So first of all, what is frequency? So frequency is when something oscillates. So it is number of cycles per second. So think about this. For example, a pendulum. You leave a pendulum, it goes up and down. First, you have to calculate its period taken. So, for example, it is 2 pi square root of length of gravity. So that's a period. To calculate the frequency, you have to do 1 over period, which is measured in the units hertz. An average computer's oscillating frequency, is 1.2 gigahertz. So this is just a background information to make you understand why white objects reflect visible light. Okay. So having known about frequency, what is an oscillation? Oscillation is the number of cycles per second. It's the same thing as frequency. So having known about oscillating frequencies, let's go to the main question. Why do white objects reflect light? And why do black objects absorb light? There's a black object. It seems to absorb it. So we know that we see objects white because they reflect all the 7 parts of the visible light. Do you know about the EM spectrum? The EM spectrum, also called as the electromagnetic spectrum, is released by the sun, which consists of 7 different waves in the order radio waves, microwaves, IR radiation, which is called as infrared rays, visible light, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. So that is what is the electromagnetic spectrum. And part of the electromagnetic spectrum is the visible light, and a part of the visible light is the color. Colors of light. That's why we see colorful objects. That's why we see that this ruler is transparent, phone is black, and many objects, trees are green. Everything is because of the visible light. So why is it? Okay, so why white objects can be seen as white because they reflect all the colors. And then if you think about why white objects reflect light, we say that because they reflect all the colors of visible light, so they reflect light. But that's like answering questions. Like, what's your name? John. What's your friend's name? John. Who's your friend? John. It's like, who's John? My friend. It's like interchanging the questions. There's a scientific reason behind it, which is what I'm going to say to you now. All objects are made up of molecules and atoms. Talking about solid objects. So atoms vibrate in place. So the number of vibrations per second is its oscillating frequency. So it has frequency. So even light has atoms. The atoms vibrate so fast, the light travels at such a great speed that they create small packages called photons. The photons give light. So the atoms of the light vibrate and the atoms of the object vibrate. So they have a frequency. If the frequency is common, if they have the same frequency, it is called resonance. It means that both the objects have resonant frequencies. And if the resonant frequencies, and if they have resonant frequencies that are pretty close, not exactly the same, but pretty close, then they will be like that. They will stick together because, example, that's an atom and that's an atom. So because they're at the same frequency, they'll vibrate at the same speed, and then they will stay to the same place. And because of that, they don't have so much space in between them. That's why light can not pass through. Light will not be reflected, whereas light is absorbed. Because they intend to go between those gaps into the object, but they cannot pass through. So if the resonant frequencies are pretty close enough, then light passes through, and we see black objects. So you should observe that its resonant frequency matches the resonant frequency of the light. So, and how does white light occur? You should have guessed it by now, that if the resonant frequencies are not close enough, they vibrate at different rates. One vibrates like that and one vibrates like that. So then they have space in between them. They tend to do transmission, which is pass through an object. Light passes through an object is called transmission. Or they reflect. They tend to hit the atom's body and reflect. So, why do white objects reflect again? Thank you.